100.3 The Ride, and you rock 102.5. Of course, you've been hearing about it for months, and it's about go time. Saturday night, ROCKFEST Northwest, Colby Event Center. You rock 102.5 The Ride, 100.3, proud to present Warrant, the Louder, Harder, Faster tour. On the phone with me, you co-founded Warrant back in 1984, Eric Turner. Eric, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, thanks for having me, Joel. Much appreciated. We are looking forward to rocking the house. The Colby Event Center house, that is.
It is going to be very cool because you know what? You come to town, I've done concerts with bands who've come to town with one hit and they play the hit at the beginning and then they play the hit again at their encore. You guys won't need to do that because you have a whole catalog of great stuff and huge hits that people are going to know every word to. That's the cool part. Sing-along night.
Yeah, I like that. The more that sing along, the better. You know what I'm saying? Makes our singer's job easier. Ho-ho!
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about Warrant. You guys have been rocking and rolling for such a long, long time. Technology has changed since you guys first came out. The sound of music, of rock has changed. But one thing that's consistent is kind of what you guys have done. But I did have to ask, and I was curious, how has technology kind of changed how you record, what you do, and who you are versus when you first came out and released some of the early stuff?
Yeah, the recording technology has come a long, long way, as you know. And, we've embraced it, and in a lot of ways it sounds better. In some ways it's not quite as warm as, what we used to do with analog recording as opposed to digital recording. But, the part of making songs and recording songs that you're real excited about with people that you love to be around and work with is it's great. It's just a great feeling when you're done recording a song, writing a song, and putting it out there for the world to hear. And obviously there's no more record stores, so to speak, like there was. But, Apple Music and Spotify and all that have been really good to us. And thankfully, a lot of people still like to stream our music and come out to our shows.
It definitely has increased the availability to a lot of folks finding stuff because a lot of people do the hunting and packing. And, when you're on Spotify and you're calling up different artists and, you can say, hey, I want somebody like Slayer and it'll pop up whatever. You can pop up LA Guns and bands that sound like it. And you guys appear in a lot of those as well, too. So a lot of people find you that way.
We love it. We feel honored that people still listen to our music and enjoy it. And, of course, Hair Nation on Sirius XM has been a huge supporter and keeping the genre and the music, out there for the masses to hear and traditional radio as well.
Absolutely.
Like you guys still playing our music, and YouTube, and it's, we're just so happy that we still get to do this all these years later. Who would have thought,
Very cool. Talking to Eric Turner, one of the co-founders of Warrant. Of course, that big concert, ROCKFEST Northwest, Saturday night at the Colby Event Center. You can get your tickets now if you want all the details, nwksradio.net. You can text the word tickets to 785-460-0790. All right. So for you, Eric, and throughout your long career, for you personally, what makes a great song to you?
Well, I guess one that resonates with lots and lots of people. There's lots of music that I think is great, what I consider great, that nobody's probably heard of, or, it wasn't a popular song because of the timing that it came out. But the songs that, I think songs that touch people's hearts and memories and emotions, whether it takes you back to where you were when you first heard it, might have been, high school, college, at your wedding, wedding song or whatever, a song like Heaven or Blind Faith. I think just music that brings people joy or makes them feel some emotion, whether it's sad or happy. Hopefully at our shows, it's party time.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be rocking it Saturday night, Colby Event Center. And so is there, do you listen to a lot of current music? Are there some rock bands now that you're going, yeah, this is it right now? Or are you just kind of this whole era right now going, yeah, I don't know so much?
No, there's a lot of good music coming out. I'm starting to see some younger bands that remind me of Warrant when we were first starting out. With just, when we started the band, 4 of the 5 guys were still in high school. I think it's great that a lot of younger people are getting into it. When we play all ages shows, of course, there's a lot of younger people there. And, of course, you go on YouTube and social media, you see more and more young rock bands that look like Poison or Guns N' Roses. They're out there playing shows and going for it. You know?
Absolutely.
I think that's great to see. My son, he's 22 now. He listens to all kinds of music. So I get turned on to some different styles of music that I normally wouldn't listen to because he's blasting it in the car or upstairs in his room.
But now,
I tend to listen to the same stuff. I'm just, Zeppelin and Tom Petty, Stones, and AC/DC, stuff like that.
Very cool. Now, does your son, does he think Dad's cool because Dad's like the rock star? Well, have you always been cool, or are you still kind of Dad?
I think finally he does, yeah. Now it's nice to hear him when he pulls in the driveway once in a while. He's actually playing some Kiss or some AC/DC, like I mentioned, some heavy rock.
See, then you go.
He grew up with the Adeles and Lady Gagas. And,
there you
stuff like that, which is cool, and it's very good music and stuff. And millions of people love it, but brings a tear to my eye when he rolls around the corner in his Mustang and he's cranking Detroit Rock City.
And then you could say, Dad did well. Dad did well. Absolutely.
He sure wears a lot of concert T-shirts.
There you go. We're talking to Eric Turner from Warrant. Big show Saturday night. We get your tickets now, nwksradio.net. So back in '89, I always wanted to ask you about this. So you wound up with a song on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure on the soundtrack. How do you wind up getting on a soundtrack like that? That's cool.
I have to correct you because we got hired and we recorded a song and wrote a song called Game of War. A guy named Stevie Salas produced it, and David Kirschenbaum, which is funny because Jerry, our bass player, just jammed with Stevie a couple nights ago. I hadn't seen him in 20-some-odd years. But anyways, we got, long story short, that was with A&M Records. We would have loved to have gotten a record deal with A&M. They didn't sign us. Columbia Records signed us, and so A&M got butthurt, I guess, and pulled our song off the soundtrack. So our song actually never made it onto the soundtrack.
But it was, wow. So it was actually supposed to make it on there.
Yeah. Politics got involved, and they ended up selling us the song back for $1. And it's a bonus track on the remastered version of Cherry Pie or Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinking Rich. I'm not sure.
Politics.
You can find it out there. Yeah,
politics in the music industry. Go figure.
Oh, Game of War. Yeah, who would have thought?
Who would have thought? It's Eric Turner with Warrant. Hey, all right. So what, you guys I know you're doing some big touring right now. Are you guys in the studio? You talking about new albums? What you got coming up that people can look forward to?
Yeah, we have a record deal with Frontiers Records. We did our last 2 albums with them. Our last album, Louder, Harder, Faster, and then also Rockaholic. And we're right in the middle of writing songs right now. We probably got 10 songs cooking, and we're starting to talk about different producers, where we're going to record it. And we have no idea what we're going to call it or anything yet. We're just writing songs and throwing ideas around. And hopefully, if all goes well, it'll be out maybe summertime of 2024. We'll see.
Eric Turner of Warrant. Final question. So you've got a whole, like I said, catalog of work, and I'm sure you're proud of all of it. But is there a standout album, or is there a standout song that you can hear, or when you're playing live, you go, that is Warrant right there? Is there any particular?
Uncle Tom's Cabin would be one of those songs that really stands out for me. Personally, it was ironically we started playing that song before we recorded it. We were on the Motley Crue tour, and Janie wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin, so we started playing it live, and then after the tour, we made Cherry Pie, and it went on the Cherry Pie album, and there's just a certain energy about it that I really love, the way it starts out, with the acoustic guitars and banjo and stuff, and then gets into this really heavy groove. But yeah, Cherry Pie, of course, everybody knows us for Cherry Pie, even though it's not our biggest hit. Heaven was our biggest hit on Billboard and all that stuff. But I think Doggy Dog and Cherry Pie are my 2 favorite Warrant albums.
I was doing rock radio in Iowa when Cherry Pie came out, and I couldn't get the phones to stop ringing for it. It was one of our most requested songs for about 2 years. It was like,
God bless America.
Now that's a song right there. We labeled it ROCKFEST Northwest. It is Saturday. at the Colby Event Center. You can get your tickets now. You can also get those $25 general admission, $35 get you the Cherry Pit area where you're just like right up next to the stage. Details, nwksradio.net. Eric Turner, co-founder of Warrant, I appreciate your time. We do looking forward to having you here in Western Kansas coming up Saturday night. We're looking for a great show. Checked out the set list, and it's like, okay, you got it all going on. So people, come on out, get to hear all of the Warrant stuff from albums going all the way back to 89 to their latest, last release in 2017, Louder, Harder, Faster, big tour going on. So, Eric, I do appreciate your time.
Yeah. If you're listening to this interview right now, you're invited. You're sitting on the fence, time to get off the fence, go buy a ticket. Come out to the show Saturday night. We'd love to see you out there. We're going to be playing all the hit songs from our first 2 albums, Down Boys, Sometimes She Cries, Big Talk, Heaven, Cherry Pie, Uncle Tom's Cabin, I Saw Red, Blind Faith, on. And we really play all the songs people want to hear. And maybe sprinkle in 1 or 2 you might not have heard, but we're going to probably play 17 songs, and 15 of them you should know. All right?
That's right.
So come on out and rock with us.
Rock with us at ROCKFEST Northwest, presented by U-Rock 102.5 and The Ride 100.3, a Rockingham Media event.